of this best of 7. The Knicks with that 2-1 lead. Game 5 will take place Wednesday at Madison Square Garden in New York. And immediately a discussion with Pete Myers and Charles Smith battling for position on the opening tip, and Bennett Salvatore came over. And now Patrick Ewing wants John Starks on the other side of Scottie Pippen. And we finally get underway. Starks controlling. Off the spin, gives the Knicks a 2-0 lead.
Well, right away, the aggressiveness of John Starks taking a little toll on B.J. Armstrong as he just went right at him and dared him to make a defensive play. Both teams are going to have to be very careful, keep their poise. The officials are going to keep a close eye early.
B.J. Armstrong, who has had a sensational series, not able to hit. Rebounded by Charles Smith, and a foul is called. Cartwright called for the foul. Bill Cartwright got off to a fast start here on Friday night with 10 of his 14 points in the first quarter. The Bulls did an excellent job defensively against Patrick Ewing, who was not able to get going until the fourth quarter. And as you can see right here, Ewing is forced out, not able to get the good position. Here's Smith. Well, Charles Smith giving the Knicks a 4-0 lead.
He gives a perimeter presence to the Knicks, as does John Starks, so all the double teaming of Patrick Ewing will make it that much more difficult for the Bulls to rotate.
Pippen off the mark with that three-point attempt. Knicks very conscious, getting off to a fast start. Ewing, very difficult angle shot, and Oakley was fouled. Charles Oakley has been on the quiet side the last 2 games after the strong effort in helping the Knicks pull out Game 1. He and Anthony Mason controlling the boards in Game 1 at Madison Square Garden. So Oakley to the line. He was fouled by Myers.
Neither team have been big factors on the offensive boards in this series, the exception Game 3 when the Chicago Bulls did an excellent job in the first 3 quarters. Bill Wennington came off the bench to give some offensive boards. Also Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright. But mainly the reason for that is there haven't been a lot of shots. Been a lot of fouls called, a lot of free throw shooting, and normally the Chicago Bulls are a team that does not shoot a lot of fouls.
Ewing with the back tap, rescued by Oakley. Smith had it knocked away by Pippen. Anthony. Rebounded by Cartwright. Bulls are down 5-0. Minute and 40 gone by, and a foul is called. Foul on Starks, trying to help out with the double team.
Well, the New York Knicks known for their hand checking, in particular Derek Harper, who is suspended for the next couple of games, but John Starks is good as anybody at getting up into people and putting his hands on people.
Pete Myers, a one-time New York Knick, guarded by John Starks. Bill Cartwright. Cartwright bottled up. He thought he was fouled. Anthony with the breakaway. Oh, Pippen with the hustle play to break it up. Rejected by Smith.
Well, Pat Riley was very upset with Greg Anthony on not taking that shot. However, he didn't say anything to him. He wants to keep his confidence as high a level as possible.
Charles Oakley extending to a 7-0 Knick lead. And a timeout called by the Bulls. Chicago 0 for 4 from the field. The Knicks 7 and the Bulls nothing. Back in Chicago in a moment. We posed the question at the start of the telecast, how will Scottie Pippen refusing to enter the game in the final seconds Friday night affect his relationship with Phil Jackson? Here's Phil's response.
I don't know what our relationship will be following that, but there were times when I went away from Michael and he was unhappy after the game. There were times when I've gone to B.J. Armstrong and Pippen when Michael was on the ball club, and I knew that it was just pleasing him. But you have to do that as a coach when everybody's focusing in a certain area, and you have that feeling of the intuition's right. You got to ride with it. That's what it's all about.
That's why Phil Jackson gets the big bucks. He makes those decisions. He's the chief, and the Indians have to follow those orders.
Bulls now 0 for 5 from the field off that wild attempt by Pete Myers. Shot clock is at 4. And knocked out of bounds. It'll be Nick Ball with 4 on the 24. I asked Phil prior to the game, was there ever any thought of suspending Scottie Pippen? As Anthony unleashes and hits a three-pointer with 1 on the 24. And the Knicks now lead by the count of 10-0. Phil told me that he and general manager Jerry Krause claims they did consider suspension and then decided not to do it. But you really wonder if the club in this position, although you'd like to take a high stand in terms of principle, but you look at the reality of it, as Pippen has called for that foul, his first, a lot of money at stake. Bulls certainly would like this series to extend. Would like to see another home game here in Chicago against the Knicks. The series on the line. I mean, if Pippen is suspended, forget it.
Well, it depends on what your team philosophy is and what your rules are and how you enforce those rules. And to try to make that decision on a one-day basis and with so many factors going about, it's difficult for Phil and Jerry to get together and do that. And a lot of times you insulate yourself so much as a team that you don't really pay attention to what's going on the outside. And you have to keep it in the family and make a quick decision.
But for a regular season, would you think Pippen would have been suspended?
A very, very strong possibility.
Or for another player, there'd be no question about it. Meanwhile, the Bulls are down 12-0. This is the Knicks' biggest lead that they've had this series. Pippen with the rebound. Pippen off the fake. It counts. And the foul. Charles Smith called for the foul, and the Bulls finally score.
Well, there's no question which team has had the lively bodies coming out to start this ball game, and really the Bulls have not looked good on any offensive sequence. They're just a hustle scramble play by Pippen to get the three-point play.
They were blanked for 3 minutes and 41 seconds of this first quarter. Knicks now lead 12-3. Once again, Ewing is forced wide. Oakley gives it right back. Ewing. Patrick Ewing, who has the outstanding touch, extends to a 14-3 lead.
A fourth shot there with 10 seconds on the shot clock. So things going the Knicks' way. They get the last second shot, a three-pointer by Greg Anthony. So they're on a roll.
Pippen for 3. Yes. Scottie Pippen with the Bulls 5 points. 6 points. The Knicks now lead 14-6. And here's pressure by Chicago. It's a 5-second violation. The Knicks have had problems with pressure defense. And Oakley was upset. Nobody came back for the ball.
Scottie Pippen squaring up and getting an excellent look there. It looked like he measured that shot a little bit to make sure that he released it very well. Still looks to me like the Bulls are thinking out there and not really relaxed yet. But if they can put that kind of defensive pressure on the Knicks, that can get some easy baskets, and that's what they need to beat New York.
Now Pippen posting up on Smith. And found the shot, goes to the hook. Back from Smith, broken up by Grant. But Phil Jackson has to be happy. Coaches always love deflections, and it broke the Knick pattern. And Horace hears it from the crowd.
Well, Horace Grant, one of the best big forwards, and maybe the only big forward who can get in the backcourt and create that kind of habit.
The Knicks 5 of 7 from the field here at the start. Starks coming off the screen. Cartwright able to chase it down. From Myers. Here's Oakley. And the ball back to Chicago.
Scottie Pippen stepping up to take that hard charge by Charles Oakley, and the crowd showing their appreciation for that. And that was no flop. He took that thing head on, a page out of the New York Knicks book. It was interesting on the last possession by Chicago, Charles Oakley running the post player, Horace Grant, something that hurt the Knicks quite a bit in the first 3 quarters the other night. On an earlier possession going into Bill Cartwright, Patrick Ewing played behind. So it looks like they're going to mix it up and read the situation.
Foul on Oakley is first. Steve Kerr has come on for Pete Myers. Steve Kerr has had trouble getting his shots off in this series. Pippen with no trouble at all in this first quarter. He has all of Chicago's points. The Knicks lead 14-8. 6:20 to go in this first quarter. Ewing, and Pippen was looking for an offensive foul. That's the second committed by Pippen.
Oh, here both going for the ball out of there as Bill Cartwright, the man that he was traded to Chicago for some 6 years ago, was trying to push Oakley out of the way to pick up Scottie Pippen, and Oakley showing what he thought of that. There's no question, Mark, these players are going to be very, very testy the longer this series goes. A lot of history between these two teams over the last 3 years in particular.
And now the hero of Friday night's game, hearing it from the crowd. Tony Kukoc comes on, replacing Scottie Pippen. So Scottie Pippen picking up 2 early fouls, has to sit down, despite the fact that he has all of Chicago's 8 points. The Knicks 16 and the Bulls 8. And the Bulls now with Armstrong and Kerr in the backcourt. Cartwright, Grant, and Kukoc up front. Cartwright rejected, and he is fouled by Ewing. Pretty lead pass thrown by Kukoc, who is an excellent passer.
Oh, he is, mainly because of his height, and he's got a knack for it as well. That time, Patrick Ewing getting caught in between, not really getting on top or three-quartering, as we call it, when you get on the man's top shoulder, not fronting, and really no contact from behind. And Cartwright using his body very well. You know, a lot of things got lost in controversy. There are not a lot of good performances. In particular, Phil Cartwright had a fantastic game, especially early because of the fronting down on him. The tremendous shot by Kukoc and the great pass by Pete Myers. And look at the production by Bill Cartwright in game number 3 compared to the other games. But a lot of that was due to the way he was defended by the New York Knicks.
Cartwright with 10 of those 14 in the first quarter. Had another strong performance, as Ahmad indicated, in the locker room after the game as he unleashed at Scottie Pippen. With Pippen taking himself out of the game with 1 8/10 seconds remaining, and that led to Pippen apologizing to the ball club. And the Bulls are now trying to put that all behind them. Smith way off. Oakley with the save. Shot clock at 1. Starks. And it's a 24-second violation.
You mentioned Bill Cartwright in the locker room. Actually, he was one of the Chicago Bulls, along with Johnny Bach, the assistant coach, who went down to Scottie Pippen and tried to talk him into going back to the game. And Cartwright sat next to Pippen during that last shot by Kukoc, and he looked like a very disappointed father sitting there.
P.J. Armstrong cutting it to a 4-point Knick lead. 5:25 remaining in this first quarter. Bulls in the midst of a 12-4 run. Ewing getting inside, and the tip handled by Oakley. So the Knicks now lead 18-12.
Well, the more double teaming and the more help that has to come to Patrick Ewing, that opens up offensive rebounding opportunities for people like Oakley and Smith and Mason when he comes into the ballgame.
And the foul called on Greg Anthony.
Hear that lead pass to Ewing as Horace Grant coming over to help out as Cartwright was clearly beaten, and that left the opening for Charles Oakley to get the easy.
Both teams have 14 fouls. And back comes Starks. Starks back in the starting lineup. He has been coming off the bench. John Starks with his second field goal. John Starks has made it back very strong from the arthroscopic knee surgery. He's given the Knicks an 8-point lead. Cartwright! Bill Cartwright able to work the baseline.
Well, that's a Robert Parrish move, that quick catch and hard spin on the baseline, and Patrick Ewing got cut standing straight up.
Chicago by 6. Starks got the step. Oh, beautiful shot by John Starks as he beats Steve Kerr along the baseline. The Knicks 22 and the Bulls 14.
And Steve just barked at Tony Kukoc as he made a defensive error on that particular play. Not supposed to get beat to the baseline like that.
Kukoc backing Smith. Kukoc. And a loose ball foul called on the Knicks. Kukoc looking for the offensive follow, tripped up by Oakley.
Actually, Kukoc is a very good post player. He's clever inside, backing in here. And when he's played one-on-one, he uses those long arms and good footwork to get shots like that. And he was pushed from behind. But anytime Scottie Pippen is on the bench, the Bulls certainly lose a lot in the ball handling department and running fast breaks. So you have to have a guy like Kukoc who's a creator out there, but he can also be a factor inside.
Luke Longley has played well in this series. Has come on. Giving no Conrad a rest. Here's John Paxson, who's been spotted during the course of this series. B.J. Armstrong sits down. 1 out of 4 for B.J. Phil Jackson now has a backcourt of Paxson and Kerr. Up front, Longley, Kukoc, and Grant. Bennett Salvatore calling a lane violation on Anthony Mason, who just checked in. The Knicks hit with lane violations twice on Friday night.
Actually, you have to wait till that ball is released. Mason cheating a little bit right there as you look at the Bulls lineup right now. That's not a strong defensive club out there. No real speed or quickness in the backcourt with Kerr and Paxson. Kukoc very weak. Longley just there. And Horace Grant, the only good defender.
The Knicks lead is now 6. Ewing facing a double team. Kukoc came over. Longley knocks it aside. The Knicks with 6 on the 24. Luke Longley hearing the chant of Luke. How clever. Starks for 3. Kukoc is serving as the point guard in this alignment. Backs it off the screen. Crowd wants to see him bury one from deep. Grant, Longley on the follow, and then rebounded by Ewing. Lost it to Grant. The Knicks 22. The Bulls 18.
And it's opportunity plays on the offensive board that is keeping the Bulls in this ballgame.
Smith got down low. Smith's pass picked off by Grant. Kerr gets the look. Mason able to back tap. Here comes Starks. Mason, that's an unusual shot. Not a good one. Anthony Mason trying a fadeaway.
Very poor decision there. And what I say about this Bulls team not being very good defensively, they got some help there from Mason, but on the 2 tricks before, played exceptional defense.
Kukoc got the step. Nice feed for Longley. And the Bulls have come roaring back. They are within 2. This following the strong Knicks start. And Pat Riley wants to talk it over.
A cop wrongly.
Well, as a follow-up to the brawl here on Friday night, these fans, season ticket holders, seated courtside where the fight broke loose. Not they've come well prepared in case the action should break out again. These fellas, I think, another story.
Seen the other night right in front of the commissioner and just to the left of us when the fight spilled over to the crowd. Luckily, nobody hurt.
The Knicks opened up with a 12-0 lead. Since then, Chicago with a 20-10 advantage. Just under 2 minutes to go. First quarter. Scott Williams has come on for the first time. Williams, Longley, and Kukoc on the front line with Kerr and Paxson at the guards. Here's Kerr. And Mason with the rebound. Anthony Bonner has checked in. So Bonner, Mason, Ewing up front. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Starks played by Paxson. The play by Scott Williams.
Oh, the Bulls have been doing an excellent job of reaching in and knocking balls loose to actually disrupt the New York offense. Nothing looks smooth for them these last 4 or 5 minutes.
Kukoc off the dribble, sets up Paxson. Yes! John Paxson with the open jump shot, and he has tied the game at 22.
Kukoc's ability to drive and get into the lane and create that defense coming towards him has opened up some outside shots for both Kerr and Paxson.
Illegal defense called for the first time against the Bulls.
Oh, John Paxson, what a beautiful looking jump shot when he gets his feet under him, shoulders squared up to the basket. He's got a pretty release in all of basketball.
And John Paxson saying the other day that I'm done, I can't jump, my shot has gone flat. Looked pretty good on that last jump shot. Kukoc off the steal. Sets up Williams. Scott Williams! Yes, and it counts.
The Knicks personal ball away for the owner is first penalty.
Tony Kukoc in the middle of just about every play. At the defensive end, he is deflecting balls, knocking them loose, running the break in the middle in the half-court offense, penetrating and kicking as he's doing it all for the Chicago Bulls right now.
3-point play for Scott Williams. The Bulls have their first lead of the game. They're up 25-22. The Knicks have not scored in their last 7 possessions. Nice move by Ewing. The crowd looking for a travel. And the Knicks are now within 1. The Bulls getting superb play from Tony Kukoc, who came on for Scottie Pippen after Pippen. Off to the good start, picked up 2 fouls. Here is Luke Longley going to the left hand, rebounded by Bonner. Down to 15 seconds remaining, first quarter. Knicks with the ball, trailing by 1. Ewing setting the pick. Bonner lost it. Kukoc from center court firing. Well, the Bulls turning it. After they were down 12-0. Scottie Pippen came out strong. 3 out of 5 for 8 points. Tony Kukoc with 4 assists. And after 1, it's the Bulls 25 and the Knicks 24.